Buenos dias, chicos. Hope you guys are doing all right. So this video lesson is going to be a continuation of our guided notes and conversation over irregular verbs in the preterite tense. All right. So what you should have in front of you are your guided notes, and on the page that says J stems. So we're going to be talking about irregular verbs in Spanish in the preterite tense that have a J in their new stem. Okay. So go ahead and get this out. It should be in front of you, and I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint and we can begin. All right. And so first thing you're going to want to write down as we are learning how these verbs work are our endings, okay? And J-stem endings are almost exactly the same as our U and I stems, except, as you can see where I'm pointing right now, in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, okay? So third person plural. So we have a, iste, o, imos, and instead of ieron, it's just eron, okay? So our verbs that we're going to be talking through are decir, traer, and any verb that ends in UCIR. For example, producir, as well as, if you look down here, conducir, traducir. Anything that ends in usir will also be a J stem in the preterite tense, okay? So all these verbs have J's in their stems, as well as their endings. In the third person plural, it's just ERON. All right, so here's the verb decir. Let's go ahead and write this down and say this along with me. Dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijeron, dijeron. Okay, so notice again down in third person plural, it's not dijeron, right? That's not a word. Dijeron. Decir is to say or to tell. In the past, notice that would be irregular in English, said or told. Looking versus present versus preterite. If you remember, decir in present tense had an irregular yo, digo, and then it was e to I. Dices, dice, decimos, dicen. Right? So that's where we get our question, ¿Cómo se dice? How does one say a certain thing, right? Dices, you say, dijiste, you said. Traer means to bring or to carry. In the preterite tense, it would mean brought or carried, right? Like if you brought something on the airplane with you. In our forms, you can go ahead and say these. Traje, trajiste, trajo, trajimos, trajeron, right? And if you kind of had something come to your mind, the word traje, we've actually seen that before, but as a different word, right? Well, same word, but different meaning. El traje would mean the suit, right? Or el traje de baño would be a bathing suit. So just be careful because this is actually a verb as well, right? Traje would mean I brought or I carried. If it's el traje, it would be the suit, the noun. All right, comparing present with past. In present tense, traer is traigo, has an irregular yo, but everything else is normal. Traes, trae, traemos, trae. Traigo, I bring. Traje, I brought. All right, producir, as well as any verb like conducir, to drive, or traducir, to translate. It's going to be a J stem in the preterite. Means produce in preterite, past tense will be produced. Let's go ahead and say these. Produje, produjiste, produjo, produjimos, produjeron, produjeron. Comparing present with preterite. In present tense, any verb that ends in like CER or CIR, like conocer or producir, is going to change a little bit. It's going to have a ZC. So it's produzco, right? To keep that produce, that S sound, produzco, but everything else is normal. Produces, produce, producimos, producen. Produce, he produces. Produjo, he produced. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of practice over irregular verbs at this point. So these verbs right here, conjugate them in the preterite tense. You can pause and do this real quickly. All right, let's go over the answers. Yo hice, I did or made. Él dijo, he said or told. Ustedes tuvieron, you all had. Ella estuvo, she was. Nosotros supimos, we found out. A little bit more practice. So translate these phrases from English to Spanish. And you can pause at this point. All right, let's go over the answers. I went, fui, yo fui, right? She made, hizo, ella hizo. They brought, trajeron, ellos trajeron. The formal you, which would be usted, had, tuvo, usted tuvo. We produced, produjimos, right? Nosotros produjimos. Okay, a little bit more practice. Go ahead and translate, and you can pause. All right, let's go over the answers. Ellos vinieron, they came. They came to the party. Yo hice, I did, I made. Tú quisiste, you wanted, or in another sense, you tried to do something. Mi amigo pudo, my friend was able, or could in a sense of they succeeded. And the last one, hubo una fiesta, there was a party. Remember, hubo is the preterite tense of I. I, there is, or there are. Hubo, there was, or there were. All right, and that is going to conclude our lesson over J-stems and some practice of irregular preterite.